to Carson Tate's video log. We're still here in sunny Palm Springs, and I have renowned BSB author Justine Saracen with me to talk about her new release, Tyger, Tyger, Burning Bright.
And I just happen to have my Tyger, Tyger, not burning, but still bright t-shirt, which I was supposed to put on, but I think I did that
Hold
joke
it up
last
there.
night.
Let's see how you look in it.
I've been wearing this when I promote the book. And,
I love it.
Not everyone gets the joke.
Did you get the t-shirt before the book, or the
long
book
before?
Okay.
Years before.
Were you inspired by the t-shirt? Maybe.
No. I make a good story, but no.
Yeah, the Tyger has kind of a dual meaning in your book, or several, actually.
Yeah, it's true. The primary meaning is the meaning in the poem by William Blake, Tyger, Tyger, Burning Bright in the Forest of the Night. It's a longish poem, but the important line in it is, did he who made the lamb make thee? Did whatever creative force in the universe there is that created beauty and gentility and kindness, did that force also create evil and pain and suffering? And I think the mature person has to agree, yes.
And I just finished your book last night. I was really close to the end, and I finished it and just read the postscript. Wow, I'm just really impressed. So why don't you tell the audience a little bit about the book, and then we can talk about it.
Well, the book arose out of my own dilemma as a scholar in German studies. My doctorate is in German history and language, but I also lived with a Jewish woman whose father-in-law had survived Dachau. So I saw the dilemma. I saw the issues of the war from both sides. And it was just a struggle in my brain how to justify, how to explain the whole descent into chaos and to genocide in Germany. And the book is coming to terms with that, in addition, of course, to two love stories, the love stories between the two women. It's a little bit in the same genre as Aimé Jaguar. Anyone happens to know what that is? It's a love story that takes place surrounded by the chaos and the horror of the war, but also deals with the issues of the war. So I was trying to be fair to the victims and to the perpetrators, who in many cases were also victims. For example, one of the bloodiest SS regiments, really grotesque, the things that they did, were themselves concentration camp inmates, and they were pressed into service.
Yeah, I had no idea. That was something I did not know about, and I found that just horrifying. That you would. It's like you have a choice. You can stay in the concentration camp, or you can get out and then murder people.
And become a killer,
Yeah, it was, and then be punished for that. It's like you were a victim and then you're punished. So
add to that. Sorry to interrupt you, but this is an important fact I want to project. Add to that the horror of being a homosexual in a concentration camp, having the camp being liberated by the Allies and going right back into jail again because homosexuality was illegal. You gain nothing except perhaps a slightly larger meal.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, so the book was depressing, but it was also uplifting. The love story is a beautiful story.
Of course,
and so, but you have this knack for taking us and just putting us right in the meat of things. We're not on the edge. I mean, you had someone there just right there when Hitler's committing suicide. In the same, within feet of it, hearing the gunshot. And that's just really impressive.
Well, it's not such a big deal for Europeans who are more cognizant about what was going on because every European has a war story because their family was there. If they're old enough, they remember it themselves. But most Americans only know the things they get in movies, and the few who read history of World War II, which is not so many anymore, especially young people, are really, I say this gently, but they're ignorant of the details of the war. And anything that gives them some perspective and insight on what was going on in the European soul during that time, I think is important. And because I lived in Germany and I speak German, it was easier for me to do.
Well, I know how prolific you are, so what are you working on next?
It's called Beloved Gomorrah. That should give you a hint. Gomorrah being the operative word. But it's also, let me see how to summarize this. I often address biblical myths. With my own interpretation of them.
Deconstruct biblical myths, that's what you do.
Right. Justine Saracen's interpretation of the Old Testament and New Testament. But one of the Old Testament tales that has always enraged me is the story of Sodom and Gomorrah and Lot. Lot, who is supposedly the one righteous man, but curiously his wife dies and his daughters end up pregnant from him. And yet he's the one righteous man.
Right.
So of course I I come into the story, I give it Justine Saracen's interpretation, and manage to, with great force and violence, bring this story together with modern-day scuba diving in the Red Sea, which is what I love to do. So, if you read the novel, you see, well, yes, those make sense. Those two go together just fine.
I love how you blend your love of philosophy and, and sporting.
So that's what I'm working on.
Excellent.
And I always try very hard to write to the title, which means having a good title early on. And I like using Gomorrah in a positive sense, because I make Gomorrah beloved.
Awesome. Well, we look forward to that. So Tyger, Burning Bright is available now.
Yeah.
And Beloved Gomorrah.
Well, I write contractually now from March to March.
Okay, excellent.
So assuming that nothing terrible happens to me.
Well, be careful diving.
Yeah, exactly. So it'll be here next March.
Excellent.
So, yeah. Reason to come to Palm Springs.
Absolutely. Sunny Palm Springs. Join us next year or today if you have time.
We still have a couple of hours.
Exactly. Thanks for joining us, Justine.
You're quite welcome.
This is Carson Tate's Video Log signing out.